progression to go from, Liberty to San Diego State?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, you got to find a positive in it some way. I mean, because it's, once it's set, there's not much you can do about it. So, we're going to make it that way, yes.
Where will San Diego State be more advanced than Liberty, at the line of scrimmage or in the skill positions?
Probably skill positions, I would say. I mean, now they fly around and move around pretty good. They're not a big defensive line, but they're moving constantly. There's times there will be times in the game they never put a hand on the ground on the defense side of the ball, and you won't know who's coming where. I mean, it's unique in what they do, and so it will be difficult for an offensive line to figure those things out at the snap of the ball.
Surprised at the number of touches Ryan got and punt returns, and how do you think that worked out?
I think he did a good job. I think he's trying really hard, and sometimes you try too hard, and you don't have to. Just be yourself and do what you do. I thought we were, when I look at the punt return stuff, I thought we were average, and I'm talking about when I'm evaluating all 11 guys and the job that we have to do to make sure that he has good returns. But he had, his first one was about 17. He had one long sideline down there that was a great return, and then he had another one that was that they rolled back there, and he called everybody off. So we're off of all of our blocks. He picks up the ball and takes off and has a chance to score on it. I think the punter made the tackle on him there at the end, and so we got to do a better job with the other 10 guys in that situation where he called them off and then he picked it up and took off running. Now they got to react better than what we did, instead of kind of standing and watching and saying, well, let's see how he does. So we'll get better at that.
The 4 guys suspended last week, are they just back to full normal things as of today for a game week?
Yes, they were yesterday. Actually, is when that game was over with. Their slate is clean. For me.
How they reacted just to that whole situation?
I think they did a good job. I mean, nobody liked it. They didn't like it, but they understood that was the way it was going to be, and so they accepted it. And just like with any discipline, you face the discipline and you move on from it. And hopefully, you don't ever make that mistake again.
Rocky Long and Bob Toledo both been around a long time. Have you coached against them before?
I was at the Air Force Academy when Rocky was at New Mexico, I believe, at that time. Urlacher was on that team. I remember that because I remember he lined up at almost all 11 positions on defense and then returned punts also. He was something. But and Bob Toledo was the head coach at Tulane when I was at Southern Miss.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm familiar with both those guys.
Backing up to when you came here and brought in the 4-2-5 scheme, why did you choose to use that scheme?
Well, I think probably because there's more spread football teams out there nowadays than anything, and so it enables you to, to be able to get into a 3-4 or a 4-3 without changing personnel, actually, and so you can be in multiple fronts. I think it causes more problems for a quarterback when you're, trying to decide for secondary coverages and all those things also.
Yeah, I guess when you're you've got a guy who's sort of a hybrid, but as the 5th guy. How much is it dealing with, like you said, receivers that flood the field, trying to get more speed on the field? Is it kind of all of the above?
Because that hybrid guy is that kind of guy that can run and cover. And then he also can fit in the box when he needs to. When you're talking about the Ram, when you're talking about the Bandit, you're talking about a guy that could drop into coverage if he needs to. So he's got to have that skill, but he also has to be a guy that can go get the quarterback. And we're able to do that with Norkeepus and Shaq.
Is it? I guess traditional 4-3 is like whatever the teams use that maybe have, like Florida State uses 4-3. Can you be successful enough? Is it an apples?
I guarantee you. Now, I haven't watched any tape on Florida State, but their 4-3, I'll bet you they get to a 3-down front also, and I'll bet you they have nickel on the field a bunch. Against teams that are spread out. So when you do that, you got 5 DBs on the field, you got 2 linebackers, and you got 4 defensive linemen. So, however you cut it, I mean, you're gonna have 11 guys out there, and you gotta be able to get to the personnel grouping according to what that offense is doing. And we don't play that many teams that are gonna stack it up with 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends and 2 backs. I mean, we don't play that. We don't see that. So I don't need those, those 4 linebackers that are 255 pounds that are playing in a phone booth anymore. Just don't need it.
What did you think about Jack Tabb's overall play on Saturday?
Jack, both Jack and Kendrick, I thought, they're playing the same position, but not doing exactly the same things with them. I thought both of them did a really nice job. In fact, I thought Kendrick was probably our MVP of the offense overall when you went back and looked at it and the job that he did. But Jack, I'd like to have that one back down the middle that Jack went up and the linebacker got his hand on at the last second. And he learned a good lesson there. You got to go up and get it. You can't wait for it to come down in that situation, because he would have had 2 touchdowns in this situation. But he's improved. He's gotten better. Yeah.
Have you ever had a straight-on kicker? Weren't there more?
Have I? Yes, I have. Not as a head coach, but as an assistant. I have. I guess one year I was at Florida, we had a guy that kicked straight toe. Yeah. But why are there not as many? I can't tell you. I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I guess the soccer style is evidently, guys can kick it for a long way. I mean, you saw what Wilder did the other night. Wilder's putting the ball in the back of the end zone. I think the first one went through the uprights and over the crossbar, so that was kind of cool. You don't see that a lot, so that was fun for him. And the team was really excited about him and the job he did.
Is he now the guy at place kicker too, or?
I don't know. Thomas was for 3 days. Thomas hadn't been out of his bed, basically, been sick. In fact, Friday night he didn't do anything with us. He was in the hotel in his room by himself. We kind of quarantined him from everybody, just trying to hope and see if he was going to be able to do something in the game. And so, I can't put a lot on what happened in the game with Thomas. We'll have to wait and see. But Nick did a really nice job. I thought he did a very nice job.
Hold on.
You guys got nothing better to do today, so you don't want to just sit in here and talk, right?
We're going to make you suffer.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I need to.
All right.